Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Alex, and I'm your chief show attendant. On behalf of the two hosts and the rest of the crew, welcome aboard Weird Wednesday flight number 13, non-stop, from your current location to parts unknown. Our flight will be of about 2 hours, and we'll be flying at the speed of sound. At this time, make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position, and that your seatbelt is currently fastened. Enjoy the ride.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Weird Wednesday. How's it going, Jamie?
It's going. How's it going with you, Rob?
I have no idea. We were doing a sound check, and just 30 seconds before I hit the live button, I was just saying how good my computer was running. Yeah, I pretty much jinxed it. Sound went crazy. So who knows? Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. If it doesn't, well, I'm not going to worry about it.
It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, just sounds like I'm, sitting in the bathroom talking. I get a little, tinny, echoey sounding. Who knows? Maybe I'm sitting in the bathroom talking. How's everybody doing tonight on this wacky ass Weird Wednesday? Man,
this super buck moon.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the full moon or what's happening, but man, people in my town
and Capricorn season, like Capricorn, all that screwing up everybody's heads.
Yep. Yeah, it's been cuckoo city around my town lately. Been finding people dead in their homes and finding people people been
going. Wait. Dead in their homes, how? Because there was those kids that all died at that show that I think they were pumped with fentanyl or some sort of gas because they're gasping, and a lot of people have been just dropping dead.
Yeah, no, this was something different circumstances, but yeah, people here, people in Jacksonville, some people were found dead in Jacksonville, and some people got shot. It's just people going crazy and having. I don't know.
But the people are found dead how?
I'm not really sure on the ones that were here. They haven't
they're just finding people dead.
Well, I think these people had something to do with it. Yeah, it was an older couple, and I don't know. I don't know all the details on the one, but there's been a few, and I got a few Florida man stories too. A couple of them I think are from here. Big surprise. From here, my town here.
Oh no.
Yeah. I don't know. It's the heat, it's hot as hell. It's humid. You got this crazy full moon, Capricorn, ding dong moon, whatever's going on. And
And all these people that don't belong there anyway, that aren't used to all that.
yeah, it's funny. I mean, so many people moving to Florida, and I mean, I get it. It's a lot of people want to move to Florida, but then they get here and they're like, God, it's so hot. I'm like, yeah, you're living either on a sandbar or in the swamp, dude. It's freaking Florida. It's hot. It's humid. There's bugs. And if there's not bugs, there's, snakes. And if there's not snakes, you want something bigger, there's alligators. So we got our run the gamut of, they talk about murder hornets and stuff. I'm like, shit, we live in Florida. We're used to all that.
I see people that moved out there just because they thought it was a good idea. And then they get out there and they're like, look at this ad for this. There's an alligator. Like, no one told me there's going to be alligators everywhere. Now I want to get the hell out of here. Like, don't you research stuff before you go?
Why is there an alligator on my lawn? I was watching a video last night, and it was a ding dong camera, doorbell camera, and it was a big Florida panther just cruising through the neighborhood, comes right up the driveway, walks by, looks at the house, like, I bet there's meat in there, and just kind of kept going. But yeah, big huge cat, like big Florida panther. Yeah, Royal, rent is beyond insane here in Florida right now. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. Yeah, now's not a good time to look for a rental. Unfortunately, yeah, it's crazy. My buddy that plays in my band, he was living in a little ratty trailer, literally ratty. He had rats in it. And he just moved out, and he said the rats were like out of control. He had live traps, electronic traps. He said he had everything, all kinds of stuff, and they were just like whatever. And the lady that owns the place, she was like, yeah, I'm raising the rent to $900. He was paying $650, and she's raising it to $900. And this is for a rat infested single wide dumpy little trailer. So imagine a nice place, how much it is.
And I'm seeing all those updates on, pisses me off so bad, the python hunt you guys have out there.
Yeah. I mean, they are invasive, and they do breed like crazy. When those things have, eggs, they drop like 30 or 40. And, of course, all of them don't make it because stuff picks them off when they're small. But, I mean, they grow.
But do they do it every year, or is it like this year they started doing it?
No, I do it pretty much every year now.
Oh, okay. All right. Because like we used to have like the rattlesnake roundups and things, but I thought all of a sudden this year they were just like starting this thing, and I'm thinking, kind of pissed me off.
Nah, they've been doing it for several years now because they're,
I'm like, they're taking their forests and they have nowhere to live, so then let's kill them.
Yeah. They're invasive. I mean, they're not normally from here. And, a long time ago, well, I mean, people let them go. People get a snake like that, and, it's all cute when it's 3 or 4 feet long, and then all of a sudden it's like 12 feet long and trying to eat you.
Has to start eating rabbits and stuff and looking at your house cats.
Yeah, people freak out, and we go, they go, let it go. And they can't really live here in the wild. I mean, they're, there's been a few around this area, but down in South Florida where it stays warmer is where they're more,
where the big ones are.
Yeah. And even in the wintertime, a lot of times if it gets really cold, it'll kill a bunch of them off down there too. But
like the iguana popsicles.
Yeah, iguanas falling from the trees, it's just like the wild pigs around here, they encourage people to kill them because there's so freaking many of them, and if you have farmland or something, a herd of those wild pigs can come in there and just devastate your crops overnight. They'll just tear the living hell out of it. So,
Yeah.
and those little wild pigs do taste good on the grill, I gotta say.
My ex-husband used to go wild boar hunting. He had a 30-odd. He'd go out there. I didn't care for it. It tasted gamey. All that kind of meat tastes gamey to me.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, Zarion, I'm feeling better. I still got this stuff, but my main issue is my heart's still like going to the races. So I was talking to Jamie earlier. I was like, yeah, my watch says, you have AFib, you have this, you have an irregular heartbeat. See a doctor right away. I'm gonna call the doctor, and my doctor's on vacation for the next month. Like, oh, cool. Is there a replacement? Is somebody taking her place? Nope. So my doctor's gone. She's vacationing. Who the hell knows where? So I made an appointment with a new doctor. Yeah, they can't see me for 2 weeks. Is it anything?
I'm 5 months and I'm trying to see a new doctor.
Jesus. Is it anything important? Well, it's just my heart, Well, if it gets bad, go to the ER. Okay, glad to hear the concern in your voice.
Yeah, we're numbers. We're cattle.
Yeah, they don't give a living. They don't give a damn. Yeah, rent is out of control. Zach says in Scottsdale, rent anywhere between $3,000 and $6,000 a month. Who can afford that?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about California. It's freaking me out.
Yeah. Yeah, ridiculous. They're going to break it, man. It's to the breaking point. People are going to get tired of the bullshit, and they're going to revolt. Just saying. Don't know what's going to happen after that, but people are only going to take so much. And then they're going to freak out.
And as my dad would say, SHF.
Yep.
Getting us all ready for when SH the F.
Well, here's one guy that, I just couldn't find a whole lot of good stories. So I got like some Florida man stories and just some wackadoodle stuff here. And where the hell did it go? Here it is. Here's the first one I got up. Maybe. Share screen. Is it going to work? There we go. Man arrested after attempting to escape police on a lawnmower. I mean, why not? Beats flip-flops, right? A Florida man in Okaloosa County, Florida, was arrested Saturday after trying to outrun Okaloosa County deputies by putting his lawnmower in the high gear.
Oh, he's a tweaker.
Dusty Mobley, 40, is charged with grand theft of a vehicle, felony criminal mischief, 2 counts of resisting an officer, possession of a concealed weapon by a felon,
and possession of methamphetamines,
carrying a concealed handcuff key, possession of drug paraphernalia, as well as other felony charges after a warrant was served for his arrest on Saturday, 9:30 a.m. at a home in Pasco Broxton Circle. According to Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office, Mobley had previously fled deputies in Holt back in January 3rd by driving into a swamp along the Yellow River after he was confronted about a $40,000 stolen boat. Sheriff's Office says Mobley was on the boat when deputies arrived, where he then drove off to avoid going to jail. He hit the swamp. Investigators say Mobley had used heavy machinery, cutting a hole in a metal building to steal the vessel from a business off Highway 4 in Baker back in January. During Friday's chase, deputies were able to successfully tase Mobley while he attempted to make his getaway on a lawnmower. According to the sheriff's office, Mobley had a revolver and handcuff key in his possession. See, like he's got a gun on him, but he's also got a handcuff key just in case.
Well,
You know,
my question is, because I've got a handcuff key on my keys, but I have a friend who has plastic handcuff keys sewn into various parts of clothes that they wear the most often. So in case something happened, they could, like pop them out of the little, stitch, like a little, how you like dot it in.
yeah.
And so, you depending on how you're tied up, you can like stick your foot up, your hands to the back of your pant leg, pop the little plastic key out, doesn't go through metal detector. So that's considered illegal?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it is or not.
I'm going to have to look into that, for my friend.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see how carrying a handcuff key could be illegal.
I mean, I have a universal key on my keychain that has a little light on it and everything. You squeeze it and it has a light. And then I've got my handcuff keys that go to my handcuffs because, I don't want to lose one of the keys. But to have it actually concealed on you would be considered illegal?
I don't know. I'm sure if you got, detained by the police and you used your handcuff key to open the handcuffs and get away, I'm sure there's some kind of law against that. But
because I'd be breaking and resisting arrest and fleeing.
Actually carrying.
But they said concealed key.
I don't know. He's on a 0-turn lawnmower, so you got to wonder how fast this thing goes. We're like the
3 miles an hour.
The cop's like walking next to him, going, pull over. Go ahead, pull over. He's like,
man, just trying to push the buttons, man. Just stop.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I think tweaker is something to do with what happened there.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby cat possums meta and
all sense of reasoning just seems to kind of go right out the
yeah.
Yes, the moon was gorgeous, Azariana. I did a little moon slideshow of all the pictures I took throughout the month, but I didn't get any good ones of the full moon.
I could now,
Hark, who goes there? I hear some. Oh, I have some lights behind me. They do different things. Right now they're on a blinking pattern.
Tonight?
Well, I thought it was last night, but it was technically, I think, like this morning.
Yeah.
Because now it's still showing supermoon 100% on this one. It's saying full moon today. Right now it's 99.74% illuminated. So right now is good moon energy.
We'll see if I wake up naked at the wolf cage and at the zoo in the morning.
Uh-oh. All right. So the James Webb Telescope. NASA, has been giving us these teasers. When they got their images back, they were crying and all happy and everything. And so they're, giving doubling out, little pieces here and there. They did release a couple photos. This is not in order. So this top one, that one right there is the cosmic dance of 5 galaxies, viewed by Webb's mid-infrared instrument. Stunning images of a stellar nursery and a cosmic dance have been acquired by NASA's new 10BN space telescope. The 2 pictures and 2 others were presented to the world on Tuesday to mark the James Webb Observatory's readiness to begin science operations. The facility has spent the past 6 months since launch undergoing testing. Viewed as a successor to the famous Hubble telescope, Webb is expected to be a dominant force for discovery for at least the next 20 years. Though I've been looking at pictures between the Hubble and the Webb, some of the Hubbles looked a little more bright. I don't know why. They looked a little more vibrant. So I don't know what's up with that. As it happened, how the first images were... Oh yeah, I cut it off because basically all I want to talk about is this SMA CS0723, which is this one here. And that's the first picture that they had put out. And it's a huge cluster of galaxies. It's known to astronomers as a gravitational lens because the mass of the cluster bends and magnifies the light of objects that are much further away. Everywhere you see a red arc-like structure, that's something, a galaxy way off in the distance and further back in time. So I don't know if those arcs mean those are galaxy, like where your mouse just was up.
Yeah.
Like in that box. So is that supposed to be like a galaxy?
Yeah, I believe so.
That's why I like that one, because they kind of circled specific things so you kind of know what you're looking at. Way off in the distance and further back in time, the light in some of those arcs has taken over 13 billion years to reach us. And here's the slightly bizarre thing. Some of those arcs are on either side of the image are actually the same object. Their light has been bent through SMA CS0723 on more than one path. And so, they go on to talk about what they're going to be, this will give it the ability to look deeper into the universe than its predecessor, and as a consequence, detect events occurring further back in time, more than 13.5 billion years ago. Astronomers will also use its more advanced technologies to study the atmosphere of planets and our Milky Way galaxy, in the hope that signs of life can be detected. The initial batch of images were just a taster of what would follow. Whenever you look up at the sky in a new way, you see things you didn't expect. The fact that these new data are so good, that they're such good quality, and they've been obtained in just a few hours of observations, that's telling you that discoveries are just sitting out there waiting to be made. No kidding. So we're going to be getting lots more cool images sent out, but I think it's interesting. I don't know if we're going to get the actual good stuff, but we'll get some stuff.
Yeah, that brings up my question is, when, what's his name, the knucklehead president, Biden, was, first to be there to show,
And why? Why? Why was his name on all this?
Well, it was funny at the end, they asked all the press to leave, and, they cleared all the press. from the room, and then they said they were going to debrief the president on some images, and it's like, what? I didn't even get it. I don't know. Were they going to like show him how to get out of the room, or were they going to show him what he was looking at? They needed to explain this a little bit more, or was there something in these images that they're not telling us that they saw? It brings up all kinds of questions when they do shit.
Yeah, that's true. I had just seen like streams of like when I was looking for the images, like his name, like presenting, and I'm thinking, wait, why? What does he have to do with NASA and these images? Like, so I wasn't like going into it and reading it, and I was just seeing it everywhere, not understanding why you want your fingers in this pie. I just didn't get it.
Yeah.
But that does raise a good question.
Yeah, I mean, it leaves anybody that's watching it leaves them with questions of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a freaking medium. They want you to wonder what's going on, so it's their job to make shit confusing. So, well played, sir.
Well played.
I don't know.
Tip my hat to you. Not.
Yeah, there are some cool images though. I found some that are like real high resolution that I was looking at earlier today that were pretty cool looking.
Like the one that almost looked like there was like a hit, like a mountain range or something behind it.
Yeah. Trippy.
I've been all excited about these.
Yeah. Well, this isn't technically a Florida man, but this one is Oklahoma man arrested outside Ada for bizarre homicide. What kind of bizarre homicide are we talking? A suspect in Tulsa, Oklahoma. A suspect is now behind bars in connection to a bizarre weekend homicide case in Pontotoc County. I know I'm going to screw that name up. The Sheriff's Department responded to a call just outside of Ada city limits about an alleged murder Saturday afternoon. Deputies arrived at the scene and found the suspect identified as Larry Sanders, admitting to a family member that he had killed his friend, Jimmy Knighton. As part of the investigation, the Sheriff's Department was able to uncover a motive. Okay, here comes the motive. Appeared to be under the influence of something, and his statement was that Mr. Knighton had summoned Bigfoot to come and kill him, and that's why he had to kill Mr. McKnighton. Search agencies in the Pontotoc County Sheriff's Department weren't able to locate Knighton's body until Sunday. Medical examiners working to determine the cause and manner of death, and the investigation is ongoing, and they haven't found Bigfoot yet that was summoned to kill him. So I don't know, drugs are bad, maybe. Or maybe he just really did summon Bigfoot and he had to kill him for that. I don't know. You be the deciding factor. I can just see the cops, question him. Well, why did you kill him? Well, he summoned Bigfoot. I can just see that those seconds, that moment where the cops' face were like, "What'd you say?"
Like, wait, what?
Wait, huh? Excuse me. Did you say
he summoned who now?
Who?
Is that a street name?
Exactly. Summon Bigfoot to kill him. Who knows? Maybe they're on to something. Maybe that's how you get Bigfoot. You summon him and he comes, and it's like Hitman Bigfoot.
Yo, like that guy that was doing that that throat singing or whatever, and like that,
Yeah.
summons Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Zach says, there's certain drugs that Makes you think you can summon Bigfoot.
Maybe you can. Maybe that's how you get the special.
I gotta kill Jamie. She's summoning Bigfoot to kill me. What? Okay. Whatever you say there, Bob. Please take a step back.
So this is 8 bizarre facts that you would think they made up, but they didn't. And nowadays, I'll pretty much buy it, be like, all right, to pretty much anything. Like, I'm not going to doubt it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's stuff going on that people could not even write.
Well, I can summon Bigfoot to kill you.
Like summoning Bigfoot to kill you. There's an island in Japan populated solely by bunnies and tourists. They call it Rabbit Island. It's home to, brace yourself, hordes of fluffy bunnies located between Japan's main islands. The island was used during World War II as a military site that housed poison gas facilities. Per the article, legend has it that the rabbits were brought to the island to test the effects of the poison, assholes, when the war ended. Alternatively, I mean, can't they have a damn gas detector?
Yeah, they're
I
called.
guess that was a long time ago. Just like, did you see they sent that chipmunk up into flipping space, like on a balloon? And they're like, oh, well, the chipmunk made it.
Yeah.
He was like a little parachuting chipmunk or something. Anyhow.
Canary in a coal mine. That's where it started.
I know. Nowadays we have machines. We have equipment. I guess back then they didn't. So anyways, they brought the bunnies there to test.
That's a lot of rabbits.
So they suggest the rabbits may have been left on the island by school children unrelated to any poisonous secret
what
activity.
happens?
So there's 2 different stories out there.
Yeah. You know what happens when you throw a couple of rabbits together?
They hump like bunnies.
Yeah. I learned that as a small child.
Oh, yeah.
Next thing I knew, I had a bunch of rabbits, and I was like trying to get rid of rabbits because, wow.
Just like mice. Either way, the bunny rabbits did what bunny rabbits do best. Yeah. So people go out there to hang out with the rabbits. Number 2, a bus powered by human poop runs in the UK. Britain's first poop bus is an effort towards sustainable transportation. Went into regular service this past March. The 40-seat bio bus runs solely on biomethane gas, which is generated throughout the treatment of sewage and food waste. The bus can travel up to 186 miles on 1 tank of gas, which is equivalent to the waste produced annually by 5 people. Okay, so 1 tank of gas is a year's worth of 5 people's shit.
I guess so. It doesn't.
Like, I'm picturing people in the back of the bus, like, crapping to make it go. Yeah. Like shoveling coal on a train.
Shoveling coal.
If the bus turns out to be successful, First West of England, which operates the bus, said it will consider introducing a fleet of poo buses. Number 3.
Wow.
You ever just, sometimes I'd put on like a ring, look engaged, maybe get a guy from picking up on me, or back in the day, say I was like a lesbian, which now, that didn't help and doesn't matter nowadays.
Okay.
Instead, you can get a pair of anti-pervert stockings designed in China to ward off unwanted attention. So you can get these stockings. Add this to the list of inventions you never imagined you might need. A user named Happy Zhang Zhang uploaded a photo of stockings that were created to look like the legs of a hairy man. The purpose behind the pair of stockings is to fend off unwanted male attention. A super sexy summertime anti-pervert full leg of hair stockings, essential for all young girls going out. Translated photo caption reads, okay. But do they realize that body hair is also like a thing in style now, like the armpit hair, and people are starting to sexualize leg and armpit hair?
I was gonna say, if I looked over and there was a girl wearing a short skirt and she had legs that look like that, I'd be like, nope. But yeah, like you say, somebody would look at that and go, ooh, sexy.
I want to run my fingers through the hair. Excuse me, may I braid your knee hair?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's fetish sites for that too.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, you could not even have to do that. Like you could just buy a pair of those and then go on those fetish sites and then just take them off when you're done, and no one would be the wiser.
That's true. Man, everything's fake these days. I can't even get a real hairy-legged woman.
Can we get a real Chewbacca's woman?
Wow.
In the Caribbean, that's like most women in the winter anyway. In the Caribbean, there is an island run by swimming pigs. What was that book, Lord of the Flies?
Mm-hmm.
Officially called Big Major K, but better known as Pig Island in the Bahamas. The uninhabited area is home to a family of wild pigs who love to swim. Today, the pigs' paradise attracts tourists that feed the friendly swine. How the non-native pigs arrived at the island is still a mystery. The general belief is pigs are dropped off by a group of sailors who thought they would make a good food source. The sailors never returned, and the lucky pigs adapted to island life. So yeah, it shows some happy little swimming piggies. Oh. Number 5, a chicken that lived without a head for 18 months. I talk about running around like a chicken with your head cut off. Well, this chicken lived for 18 months without a head, and for 1945, a farmer in Colorado beheaded a chicken, but missed its jugular vein and left one ear and most of the brain intact. Dubbed Miracle Mike, or Mike the Headless Chicken, the animal survived for 18 months on a mixture of milk and water that was fed into its... I'm sorry, Lori. Into its exposed esophagus through an eyedropper. Once Mike gained fame, the farmer started a sideshow tour and charged guests 25 cents to meet his headless chicken. What do you think? A headless chicken? What's that TikTok? So, number 6, an artist had 3D printed Vincent Van Gogh's ear from family DNA. Yeah, they 3D printed his ear. And then we go to number 7, bats were once used as weapons. The brainchild of a Pennsylvania dentist. The idea involved strapping small incendiary bombs to bats and releasing them to spread fires and inaccessible target zones. The proposal sounded logical to several researchers who won the support of the military. President Roosevelt's men, according to Atlantic, following 30 demonstrations. The $2 million project was canceled and supposedly replaced by the development of another secret weapon, the atomic bomb.
Oh.
Well, so yes. And you know what? That was just a black box. I don't even know what the bats look like. It was a black box. So for the sake of this, I just put a bat on it.
Yeah.
So it's not even the picture. And number 8. Jupiter and Saturn, diamonds can fall as rain. I do know there's some Earth-like planets that rain glass.
Yeah.
Jupiter and Saturn, diamonds can fall as rain. It turns out Saturn and Jupiter are a girl's best friend. In a 2013 study, 2 planetary scientists found out that the high pressures inside the planet's atmosphere scattered carbon into chunks of diamonds per the page. The study says the precious gemstone can melt under extreme pressure, and inside the planet's atmosphere, scattered carbon. Melt under extreme pressure and temperatures, which leads to the formation of liquid diamond raindrops. Beautiful. Researchers say as many as 10 million tons of diamonds could be inside the 2 planets, according to National Geographic. So that's kind of a trip.
Yeah. It's raining diamonds.
Like, why can't they go down somewhere and, like, scoop it up? They got to have some sort of, like, something that they could go down and, like, scoop out the diamonds.
Scoop out the diamonds.
I'm in a weird mood tonight.
Yeah, well, like we were talking yesterday, I think. I don't know. Come on, man. You know, there was that video going around. Something crashed into the moon, and they were showing it and sent it to Jay. Yeah, that's a hoax. Well, you know, something apparently did crash into the moon a while back, but I don't know. This article says NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter has captured an image of a mysterious rocket part on the lunar surface. The debris, which appears circular in shape, has generated quite a bit of interest in social media recently, when some conspiracy theorists claiming that it's evidence of undocumented visits to the moon or even signs of intelligent extraterrestrials. Extra testicles on the moon. Officially, the object in the photograph is believed to be a component from a man-made spacecraft. However, specifically which spacecraft and who sent it continues to remain a genuine mystery. It was originally thought that the debris was from SpaceX launches. However, there's also a chance that it could be from spacecraft launched by China. According to reports, the object impacted the lunar surface on March 4th of this year. NASA maintains that the analysis of the crash site could help determine the origin of the debris. The double crater was unexpected and may indicate that the rocket body had a large mass at each end, the space agency wrote. Typically, a spent rocket has a mass concentrated on the motor end. The rest of the rocket stage mainly consists of an empty fuel tank. Since the origin of the rocket body remains uncertain, the double nature of the crater may indicate its identity. So, I don't know. You know, here it is. It doesn't look, you know, that spectacular. You know, some things I see on the moon and I'm like, you know, that's a box, that's a door, that's a, you know, a whatever. This is like, okay, maybe it's part of a rocket. I don't know. It kind of looks like a rock to me. But I guess if, you know, they say it's a piece of a rocket, maybe it is. I don't know. It seems like they could get a better picture of it. You know, they can get crystal clear pictures on Mars, but we can't get nothing but a shitty picture on the moon. Again,
right?
Why? They just want us to wonder, you know? It's like, oh, we'll just give them the crappy pictures. We'll
So my
give 'em-
mom says all the time too, and like, and yeah, it comes to like prices of cameras and this or that, but it's like still you can see in other galaxies, but you can't make a damn security camera where you can like
exactly.
see down the street what this guy is doing. Like, you can't zoom in that far, really.
Yeah.
But that goes into price.
We can see the rings of Saturn, but we can't get a license plate from across the street.
Yeah. So beans could be a sideline income.
Beans.
Janice. I'm not sure which part of the conversation. Oh, Marie says Japan also has Cat Island and a Deer Island. Florida, actually, you have what's her name's mansion out there. That mansion, that's a Cat Island.
Yeah.
And when you guys had that the hurricanes years back, the lady, wasn't going to do anything about the cat. She goes, we're just going to, they'll be fine. And it was freaking me out. I'm like, someone's got to go, and they did. People came and they were able to find all but like one of them and at least brought them like in to be safe. Cause I was like freaking out. I'm like, they can't let the cats just
We got
out there.
we got wild monkeys too that are on the loose here. Because there used to be a monkey lab not too far from where I live, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, it got shut down and abandoned. Monkeys escaped, and
I forgot about that.
now they're just like random monkeys.
And you don't know what's wrong with the monkeys.
Yeah. And then there was that wreck. Where was that wreck at? Where all the monkeys escaped? And they were like from some lab that was like full of some crazy virus, and they were like, "Don't worry, we got all the monkeys." But however, if you see a monkey on the loose, call this number. Wait a minute, you said you got them all.
You guys are like a porthole for all sorts of crap right now.
And yeah, Debbie's right. There's a shitload of wild monkeys in the Ocala area, near Silver Springs area, all that. Yeah. You go on the Silver Springs glass bottom boat tour, and it's like a combo tour. It's like glass bottom boat. You see all the fish, and as you're seeing all the fish, you also seeing monkeys over your head too.
Oh, I was going to say the monkeys aren't like in the glass bottom. Like, you're all looking and these monkeys are like doing the backstroke. It's crazy.
Yeah, Hemingway's house in Key West. Catching the goes.
Hemingway, yeah, that's the house I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's the ticket.
He used to have a Hemingway Siamese cat.
Really?
Yeah.
So this is strange UFO photographed by the Mars rover. Evelyn had sent this to me. And it's from May 19th. So we may have already read this on something or not, but when I was going through articles and things, I was looking for, stuff I missed. This is a thing that kind of looks like that key or that. Last year, NASA successfully landed the Perseverance rover on Mars with a mission to seek out past and perhaps even current signs of life, as well as to collect rock and other samples. Since then, the rover and its onboard helicopter Integrity have spotted some weird things: an alien boot, metallic wreckage, and possibly even an alien. It turned out, though, NASA may have gotten a photo of a UFO from the rover as well. I have 3 really cool other things. Like, my mom sent me about like a Yeti that was found, but they're all YouTube videos, so I couldn't I didn't want to get flagged for nothing.
Yeah.
But there were some really cool other ones. In 2003, the space agency set up a different rover, Spirit. Spirit went to the red planet with a 90-day mission, but far outlasted that, remaining active for 6 years. During that time, the rover found evidence Mars was much wetter than it is now and provided more data about the Martian wind. It also took hundreds of photos, and someone combing through all those pictures just stumbled upon one that happens to show a UFO. The long, strange craft was examined in a video by UFO Sightings Daily and has most people stumped. And then, like, I didn't send you this, but they had, like, this YouTube video thing of all these different videos of something that looks, like, similar to that kind of shape. Viewers are impressed by the find, calling it mind-blowing. So, and writing things like, great capture of what could possibly be someone else's drone watching our rovers. Others, however, are not convinced, stating it's not a drone or a UFO. Some particles on the lens of the camera. As yet, there's no word from NASA on what it could be, but you can see the full official picture and others that Spirit took here. Viewers are impressed. I already read that. So yes, it's up to you guys what you think that might be. Something on the lens.
Jetpack man.
Jetpack man, this was my first thought.
I don't know. It's pretty weird.
It was that weird kite guy that flew up to Mars, or it's Jetpack man made it to Mars.
Yeah. It's pretty weird. Yeah, I really think there's something at one time, something on
like
Mars.
The Black Knight satellite.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think Mars was inhabited by something or someone at some point in time. There's too many things that are similar to, a livable place. Whatever I'm trying to say.
And not being one for like coincidences.
Yeah. Jetpack man. Yeah.
Jetpack man.
So speaking of Florida man, St. Augustine man, there's something about this happened. I think it was July 3rd here. For some reason, this happens a lot in my town. And I don't know why. I don't know why this happened. But I have some reference stories after this one. And this one, naked man climbs on the roof of a local business. Now, I don't think he was naked when he climbed up there. Maybe he was, but I don't think so. St. Augustine police are investigating how a naked man ended up on top of a local business. The local business is also the place that here in town that sells whoa, wrong page. It's based here in town that sells like all the metal detector stuff and everything, and it's like a pirate treasure shop. They got some really cool stuff in here. But yeah. July 3rd, apparently, naked man was on top of the building. Mark Anthony, who owns Spanish Main Antiques, he says it all happened morning of July 3rd. He woke up to calls from a customer saying that his business was surrounded by fire trucks, so he's thinking, holy shit, my place is on fire. Just jumps out of bed, throws some clothes on, runs down there. First thing I'm thinking is my building's on fire. I've lost everything I own. But that was not the case. His wife, Jill Passetti, explained. He calls me and says, there's a naked man on the roof. There's a man on the wing. It wasn't a fire, thank God. But 42-year-old David Mosley had crawled onto the roof at some point, taken his clothes off, and touched a window that accessed a private room in the shop. They're not saying exactly how he touched the window, but I don't know, there were snail trails on the window. His fingerprints were still visible. The room had just been done. The roof is on fire. We don't need no water. The roof had just been done and the epoxy hadn't dried. So when he touched the window, it left clear markings. I was like, well, how long has he been up there? And that's when I found his clothes on top of the roof and fingerprints from the day before. I was like, well,
Butt prints.
yeah. Still don't know how long he's been up there. The suspect was charged with trespassing and indecency. Couple doesn't know the motive. Well, it gives a whole new way of looking at the problems we're having with homeless and mental health issues here in town. Anthony said. The couple tells us that they've taken this as even further proof that the city needs resources for those struggling, and a part to prevent things like this from happening again. Guess what? These things are still going to happen. We've had a bunch of cool stuff in here, but it's not something people on vacation are expecting to see. A naked man on top of the building that seems impossible to get on top of.
Or are people expecting to come to Florida to see it?
Yeah. Okay. You know, but a while back, I put a video. It was all over Facebook. It was last year. There was a naked dude on top of the Wendy's here on US 1. Yeah, what is it about getting on the roof and getting naked, you know? And there's been a couple others, and a long time ago.
Those synthetic drugs, the first thing that happens is they strip down. My buddy, when he took some stuff, like he wanted to play Parcheesi and just started stripping his clothes off and just had to play Parcheesi.
Well, even a long time ago, I was living in this little house, and there was a convenience store like right across the street from it, and it was like 2 a.m, and I hear all this commotion and yelling and stuff, and I'm like, what the hell, you know? And I go out on the little balcony of my porch, and I look over, and up on top of the building is a naked girl. I'm like, and ever since then, it's been naked men. So I don't know what changed there, but I was like, oh, but damn, look at that. There's a naked girl on top of the building.
We have these creeks out here that when you're driving north to go to these camp spots, there's this like river, and you always see like, you know, they're kind of the natural, they kind of look French. I don't know, but there's been a few times I've passed through there and you see them all just like sitting along the side, like bathing each other in this like creek.
Wow.
Or river. Yeah, just on the side of the road.
Strange.
Turned into kind of a tourist attraction.
Yeah, I think the girl that I saw on the roof, she was tripping big time because she wasn't really.
These were just like all love and light, just happy people, probably witches bathing in the creek.
These latest naked dudes, I don't know, man. Something about, like you say, something about the drugs these days just makes you want to get naked and eat
people's faces.
Yeah. baby back ribs. I don't know, man. It's fucking weird.
That shit scares the hell out of me.
I was gonna say, man, I'm not like scared to do any of these new drugs. Nope.
I will never buy no pot off the street. I will not. I am just so scared because I know I'm going to be the one that ends up with some crazy, like, something that's going to happen. I don't want to be on a building. I seen a cops and this girl, she was like 17 or 20. She looked 17, had 2 kids. They were on like this ledge of the roof. But it was like a ledge over a window, like a subroof thing. And she had her 2 little kids up there. And she was just so gagged down wherever she was on. And cops are like trying to pull her by her legs. And she's freaking, Mama, they're taking me. They're going to kill me. They're going to kill me. They're aliens. She thought they were aliens because the way they like, swatted her up there. Yeah. And so she wouldn't let go. And she was like terrified. She wouldn't let go. Her toes are gripping on. It was a horrible thing. Everybody could have been killed. And it turned out she was on these horrible synthetics along with like meth and something else. It's just the way people act. I can see cops like pull them over on like the shows, and you can just tell by their behavior. It's like that is definitely a type of synthetic or bath salt.
Yeah. Nutty, nutty, nutty.
Am I up?
Yep.
All right. So aliens have been replaced by robots, and humans are next, according to one astronomer. Kind of a cute alien there, huh?
Yeah.
She's got earrings like mine. She does. She's got hoops like mine. Aliens have been replaced by robots, and humans are next. And they are growing replacement skin for these type of things.
Yep.
Astronomer Royal Lord Ludlow has said that advanced robots could have already replaced aliens and that humans are next. So these are his theories. And what's worse is we may not even recognize the androids because they are so advanced. And even though it's a theory, I do believe this is our future. Aliens will have been replaced by super advanced robots, and the human race is next. Lord Martin Rays of Ludlow is the astronomer royal and astrophysicist who supports the royal family, and recently he spoke at the Science Festival. There he told the congregation that flesh and blood aliens will likely already had been taken by incredibly intelligent robots, but that's not all. He went on to say that we're next, and that within the next millennium, humans will probably be superseded by robots too. So we've got that to look forward to. Then he went on to say that that's the same damn thing. He said it's likely that robots had already taken over distant planets inhabited by the remote electronic progeny of some of the long dead civilization. Lord Rest says that the search for extraterrestrial intelligence is likely to turn up something very unlike us. What will we expect this life to be like? I think if we or detect anything, it would not be a flesh and blood civilization like ours. It will be something robotic and electronic. Yeah, I think. As the Daily Star report, the robots we're creating today are the first steps on the road to civilization of synthetic AI life forms that will last for far longer than any humanity ever could. Just like that movie, Just Look Up, Don't Look Up, whatever. That's how I see it. They're all going to fly up there. They're already getting space stations set up there, sending our DNA up there, plugging heads in Arizona and test in those vats to get them ready for another civilization one of these days. He said it's certainly on the cards that after a few centuries more, 1,000 years, we will have been superseded by electronic entities and they will be near immortal and could go on for the rest of the universe history. Lord Rees added that the same process is likely to have already played out on other planets across the galaxy. Another inhabited planet would likely to be far behind Earth with no evidence of intelligence or far ahead, in which case we would see the remote electronic progeny of some long dead civilization. SETI expert Seth agrees that any interstate travelers will have left their biological bodies far behind, and the first extraterrestrial entities we meet will be AI-based rather than living beings. Seth, that it's impossible to guess what their motives would be, given they would be more likely to be machines than living beings anyway. It'd be hard to gauge what they'd be interested in. Meanwhile, at a NASA press conference, Bill Nielsen, the agency's new boss, said, an investigation into whether extraterrestrials have visited the Earth was already underway. Nielsen, a former astronaut himself, has asked scientists to examine recent authenticated UFO sightings. One encounter being examined dates back to 2004. Yeah. Talking about the Tic Tac sightings, and do you think so? They're just going back and forth. Like, if this were to happen, would the machine turn into an enemy? And that goes into, if it just keeps getting smarter and smarter and smarter,
Yeah.
who's to say what could end up happening? It's like a mix of Jurassic Park and Terminator and
Yeah. Exactly.
all the things we don't want.
Yep. What have we done? How did we get here?
We already have newscasters that they're putting out there that you can't even tell that they're not a human being. They've got the voice tags and
Kind of creepy.
yeah, it's very creepy. So my paranoid tinfoil wearing ass, I sent you that meme, I think, or I sent it to Debbie, me in a frickin' 10-man outfit, toot toot.
But, I don't know. Who knows where we're going?
I hope I'm dead way before it all.
Yeah. I don't know. It'd be interesting. But yeah, I always wonder, like, I see little kids these days, they're, 1, 2 years old, and I'm like, what's the world going to be like when you're like 30 or 40,
I know. Like, every time my cousins have a kid or something, it's like I'm so happy. But the past couple of years, it makes my stomach actually sick because it's like, what kind of world are they going to be living in?
Yeah.
At least they'll be adapted to it. But God,
Yeah.
scares the crap out of me.
Yeah.
I'm just I'm reverting backwards, like blasting 80s music in my car. I am getting rid of technology I don't need. I am minimizing and just wanting to go back to the easier things because none of this stuff is more convenient or easier. It's drives me crazy. I hate dealing with it. I hate getting locked out of stuff. I hate being controlled by it. I hate it alerting me all the damn time. I just am done.
Yeah.
I mean, the shows and stuff are fun. I like to talk to people, but I am freaking ready to step back.
Yep. And then Florida man, hustle, eat, sleep, and repeat tattooed on him, charged with throwing a hot dog at a police officer. He done hit the officer with a wiener right between the eyes. Tampa Bay man was arrested Saturday for allegedly throwing a hot dog. Allegedly. Either he did it or he didn't. He threw a damn hot dog at an officer who warned him that he was violating a city ordinance, according to a local report. Jason Stoll, 47, is charged with felony battery on a law enforcement officer and resisting an officer without violence. An officer asked Stoll to close up his shop because he continued to try to sell hot dogs on the side of the road. Court documents say Stoll became frustrated and threw a hot dog at the officer, who was in full uniform at the time of the incident, according to the station. Stoll, who lives in Newport Richey, was booked in the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office. Was booked into the Pinellas County Sheriff's. I don't think he was booked into the office. I think he was booked into the jail, even though it says office. Online court records show that he is out after posting a $2,500 bail. Damn, he must have sold a lot of hot dogs with meth in them. The court records note that he has many tattoos, including phrases hustle, eat, sleep, and repeat. And what doesn't kill me makes me stronger, among others. He faces a minimum of 3 years in jail if convicted. Damn, 3 years for hitting an officer with a hot dog. That's serious time. So before you go shaking a wiener at an officer in uniform, better think twice. They'll lock you up.
I don't even know that you can shake a wiener at an off-duty officer.
Yeah, probably not. But yep, he was selling hot dogs without a permit, and the officer told him to close up shop, and he could have just said, "Okay," closed up,
I went
went
to another spot.
went to another spot, and continued to sell hot dogs. But no, he's got to get pissed off and throw a hot dog.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. It wasn't me. It was the other hot dog guy. It wasn't for those meddling kids.
It was a seagull, man. I fed a seagull. It just flew over and dropped it on you.
Yeah, it slipped.
Yeah. It popped out of my bun. It slipped out of my bun.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I just had a funny cartoon image in my head. Do you know what I was just thinking?
What's that?
Sticking it in a spot and then turning around and then going and shooting it back out that way.
Tijuana style.
Yes, I do have a cartoon mind. Dee would like to know, anyone know what monkeypox does? It causes like welts, and I doubt you have it. Do you think you have it?
Okay,
Oh, 3 people in the county where I live has it. Be careful in the restrooms, and I think you're probably safe. It seems to be passed on through like male to male. Like,
don't look it up.
yeah, don't look it up.
Google.
But they'll look like sores.
Yeah, I'm looking at pictures right now. It's pretty horrifying looking. And you'll pass on that.
Mm-hmm. I don't use, and even though they say it can only, right now it can only be passed between like certain demographics. Yeah, if I have to use a public restroom, I put lots of the plastic or paper around. Don't even let my skin touch nothing, and I just stand right over it.
One of those hovers.
Mm-hmm. And I guess the last thing, I got a skunk chasing me every time I go outside now. This skunk runs up on me. I hear a noise, I look, and he runs up to me and looks at me and cockeyes his tail. I'm like, you are going to cause me to have to sleep out back with the cats.
Yep. Yeah, I remember one day when I used to live out in the country before I moved in here to the city where the fancy folk live. You came home on my motorcycle one day, and I used to leave the garage doors, open, and I just ride my motorcycle, park it right in the garage, and came riding up the driveway, went out back to where the shed was, went to ride in the shed, and I look, and there's like mama skunk with like 4 or 5 baby skunks all like going in the shed, looking at me, and I'm like, son of a bitch, what do I do now? I get out and yell at them and have scare them out of there. No, that's probably not a good idea with a bunch of skunk. So I threw some mothballs in there. That didn't really work. I ended up leaving the lights on, and I guess I didn't like the bright light.
That was good thinking.
Yeah, I didn't want to kill them,
Thank you.
But yeah. But at the same time, I didn't.
Yeah, it's hard because it's like that shit burns. If your dogs get it, that shit burns.
Yeah,
and it does not go away, and it hurts the skunk. It's not even like the skunk wants to, spray for fun.
And they were crapping and peeing everywhere in my shed, and it was like,
Oh.
Sorry, dudes, but I got to draw the line here. I can't share.
No.
Can't share my shed with you. You guys won't even go outside and take a dump, so yeah, I tried a few things, and finally I just left the lights on for like 2 or 3 days and had these bright fluorescent lights, and I guess they didn't like that, so they left. I'm like, good riddance, you stinking varmints. Very cute though.
My the Ring cameras caught me a couple times. Oh shit, skunk! He runs up on me. I was like freaking out, pissed off at these kids with the fireworks. And I'm standing there and I hear like this person, it sounded like a person running up on me. I turn, breathe, throw some elbows. I see the skunk run. It's like, "Arr!" And his tail's all cockeyed. He's looking at me. And I'm like, oh shit, skunk! I'm like, no, don't you get me? And so then he's freaking out because all the fireworks like running underneath the hedge, and I'm staring at him and watching the tail. Like, I know I'm gonna open this door and he's gonna spray right through the house.
No.
So I'm like backing away. It's like, it's cool, skunk. It's all cool, skunk. But he's out there somewhere.
He's waiting for you.
Mm-hmm. I think what happens is I go out walking when he comes up to the fountain for his drink because he's got kind of like a routine.
I went out last night to water my plants and stuff. I was like 2 a.m. Neighbors are probably like, what the hell is he doing out there watering the plants? But that's the way I work. But yeah, I opened the door and walked out on the porch, and there was a freaking armadillo out there. It took running. Usually armadillos just kind of stop, and this thing bolted like lightning hit it. Kind of freaked me out.
They dig up the grass and stuff too, don't they? Like,
yeah, they wreak havoc in my yard.
Yeah, I remember some of that. You had to get Henry.
Yeah, at first my neighbor was like, because I got my one little dachshund loves to dig. She'll sit out. I mean, she's destroyed in my backyard. But my neighbor, before she started digging, I think she learned from the damn armadillos. But before she started digging, the armadillos would come over and they would just dig up my backyard. And then they started digging up the neighbor's yard. And he was like, one day he kind of mentioned it and was like, is your dog over here digging? I'm like, no, dude, those are armadillos. And he was like looking at me like I was crazy. And I'm like, nope, they're armadillos, man. And then he finally saw him one night.
Oh, was that my turn?
Yep. You got the next two.
What do you want to do? The sparkling UFO one?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm going to send you my screenshots. Okay. So this, you like to learn a little bit about, other countries and their paranormal type things. Tourists are banned from India's most haunted building when the sun has set. Locals have reported hearing blood-curdling screams, smelling curious perfume scents, and seeing strange flashing lights coming from the fort out there. Tourists are strictly forbidden from entering what is widely considered to be India's most haunted building before sunrise or after sunset. During daylight hours, the Bangarh, Bhangarh, Bangarh
Sounds right.
Fort in Rajasthan is a hugely popular attraction for those on the tourist trail who find themselves enchanted the remarkable standard of its preservation. Those who are a little less stout of heart or who take the countless ghostly tales connected to the fort seriously aren't as quick to enter. A sign installed by the government at the gate of the building ominously warns that all access is strictly forbidden when the sun is not up. All access points to the fort are firmly and religiously locked until the sun rises again. Locals claim to have heard women screaming and crying from within its bowels at night when the sound of bangles breaking and strange music can sometimes be heard. Others claim to have seen shadowy wisps and flashing lights among the structures, while some have smelt perfume drifting from the ruins. If a person enters the fort after sunset, they will never ever come out again, locals say. The fort has been an object of terror among those living nearby for hundreds of years, during which time stories of the horrors that lie within have only grown darker. The first most commonly touted legend relating to its ghoulish reputation concerned its origins. When the founder of the King Singh visited Sage Bala, and asked for permission to build the fort, the mystic man said yes, so long as to not point. Wait, the mystic man said yes, so long as at no point would the fort be built so high that its shadow should fall upon his home. The king readily agreed and began building it. All was well until an ambitious successor of the king started building upwards from the foundations, casting a shadow on his home as he did. Understandably, the sage cursed the fort, ensuring that everyone who lived within it would be doomed to a life without rebirth, stuck in limbo to roam the ruins for eternity. He also rendered it impossible for any roof built in the fort to not collapse. According to another tale, a priest who was a practitioner of black magic fell in love with a beautiful princess whose looks were known of far beyond the borders of India. One day the priest followed the princess to the marketplace and offered her a love potion, which she refused, having been tipped off about his dishonorable intentions. She threw the amorous concoction onto a nearby rock, which caused it to roll onto the priest and crush him to death. Damn. How big was it? In the moments before he slipped off his mortal coil, the priest cursed the village and fort, condemning it to destruction and desolation. The entire population in the area was slaughtered in a great battle a year later. Holy cow, I want to read some more about that place.
Yeah, really. Pretty trippy looking. I was looking, this one picture, you can see people up there, kind of gives you an idea of, the size of it.
I don't think I've ever heard of this.
People up there
So they're saying like the roofs always collapse on it?
I don't know. The one picture here looks like all the back area, there's no roof anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Front area appears to be some roofing. I don't know.
And they take that stuff very, very seriously. I mean, locking up every...
Yeah. Don't go in at night.
I want to go in at night. You would go spend the night there, wouldn't you?
Sure.
I would.
Although we may never come out.
Cool with me.
We may be stuck there for eternity. Hey, remember that time 300 years ago we came into this castle on that one night? All right. This is sparkling UFOs. What did he say? Sparkling? Yep, that's what he said. Sparkling UFOs. Look at that. That's pretty weird. I don't know. Let's see what it says. Local residents stopped to take photographs of the strange silver object, which could be seen clearly in the summer sky near Bristol. But there may well be a mundane explanation behind this phenomenon. A mysterious silver unidentified flying object. Yes, they called it a UFO. I knew the people of Bristol were cool. It's not a UAP or a WAP or whatever they call them these days. Fancy new word the kids use. The UFO was spotted on Sunday. They even said UFO. I like the mirror. UFO was spotted on Sunday, glistening in the sky near Bristol. A local resident in North Filton snapped the shiny object, which looked to have some sort of string-like detail hanging from it. And while the extraterrestrial enthusiasts will be encouraged by the apparent rocket-like shape in one of the pictures, there could be a more plausible explanation in the form of a weather balloon or even a helium balloon which escaped from its owners. One of the images, the subject appears to have, why am I getting text right in the middle of that? Appears to have an S-like shape, which could potentially be a foil 2 or 5 shaped helium balloon, which are popular feature at children's parties. The resident who took the photos, David Levy, said in quotes reported in the Bristol Live, "I was about to get a Chinese carry out when I spotted it." A few people were taking pictures when they said they saw me taking some. It was probably just a weather balloon, but you never know. It was ascending slowly. I think no sudden movements, so probably not an ET. It's not the first time a UFO has been spotted in the skies above Bristol. Last year, 2 separate sightings took place in the space of 30 hours in the skies above Kingswood. The first sighting was made by Claudeau Lilly, strange name, probably butchering it, at about 7:20 on a Saturday, July 17th, from his flat. He photographed and then filmed a strange silver object that appeared to be very, very high in the bright blue evening sky. So I don't know. Weather balloon? Kids balloon?
I first thought like Mylar, but it's just the way that the light is hitting it and making those like,
Yeah.
it looks just too shiny. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be like some hella Mylar, you know?
I mean, even like the emergency fire blankets,
Yeah.
I don't think would catch light quite like that.
Mm-mm. No, this to me doesn't look like
I mean,
balloon.
plus, like, could that be a kite? And then there's like FAA regulations on certain things, you know, with like reflective. I don't know if those things count as far as like hitting a pilot in the face.
Yeah. I don't know. Doesn't look like balloons. I don't, who's to say what a weather balloon might look like? Maybe it's an escape weather balloon, but I don't think so. I think it's something weird.
And again, it's like the Dark Knight shape, but glitter, you know.
Yeah, it's like
It's like the opposite
yeah.
of the Black Knight.
Could it be Mylar reflecting in the sun? Sure. Could it be, some sort of nuclear plutonium power surging? Sure, it could be that too. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Could it be weather ice forming in the sky falling down?
Yep.
Diamonds from Jupiter.
Exactly. Who knows? Who knows? Stranger things have happened. You can get stockings with hair on them to ward off the perverts or to draw the real perverts in. So, what time is it? It's zodiac time. Astrology time, I should say.
Oh, yeah.
See if I can get the music to play this time.
I posted it on my page, and I posted it like under the video posts because I'm not reading it all. I'm only going to hit on a couple things, but I did add some stuff in there like new moon horoscopes and July horoscopes and rituals for the full moon, affirmations, and that type of thing. So there's some extra little goodies in there. As far as astrology, this week's sky at a glance, July 8 through 16, because I believe we are what week are we doing? The 13th through 19th.
Yep.
So 13 through 19. Yeah, so this ended on the 16th, so that shouldn't have even been in there. We have our full moon, super full moon in Capricorn. The full moon in Capricorn is all about emotional mastery and alignment. Capricorn is an earth element. The energy is dynamic yet very focused, like a laser beam. It's crucial to take time for yourself and establish better boundaries. You are the authority of your life. Now is the time to let go of the past and move past old comfort zones. You are stronger than you ever know. And again, Capricorn's about grounding, enjoying the fruits of our labor, and to sense the emotions we have around our career and goals in life. So it all pretty much revolves around different emotions. So if you're feeling yourself being emotional, that could have a lot to do with it. The new beginning of our next level with new successes, burning away all blockages, bringing a much needed energetic reset of any blockages, freezing us from karmic cycles. This full moon is extremely close to Earth, the closest to Earth it will be this year. Expect a new cycle with good luck on all levels, good luck in love, romance, career, and finances. Universal energy is doing a massive flip over in the next 39 hours. This Capricorn full moon is the most ambitious of this year. It's all about your status, goals, material possessions, and your professional life. Again, it's talking about it being an earth sign. This sign encourages us to make physical, actual, embodied change. This is a time to rewind yourself for success, but it's important not to be too hard on yourself if your goals are still work in progress. Start manifesting and taking action to channel the energy of this lunation using the full moon manifestation guide. Looking at the July forecast, the 19th, Chiron enters retrograde. Reflect on your healing journey. Acknowledge how far you've come. So it's a good time to reflect. The 22nd, what did I say we go to?
13th through the 20th?
Or 19th, huh?
19th.
Yeah. So the rest are for next week. Says the same thing. The 17th, Venus enters Cancer. Full moon in Capricorn. This full moon is also known as the buck moon. It's a super moon. This is the second and last super full moon, but not the last super moon. After all, the last new moon of 2022, just like the first one, will be a super moon. Also, a comet will appear. Do you have a brown candle? You will need it for tonight. And I didn't have time. I was trying to look up that comet and what they're talking about, but I didn't get a chance to. So if you guys have information on that, if you want to shoot it to me, that would be awesome. And then there was one more where they're talking about I didn't even add it in there. Mars and Taurus, July 4th through August 20th. Do's: do commit or quit, do pursue financial goals, do enjoy earthly pleasures, do create healthy routines, and don't be passive aggressive, don't have a stubborn attitude, don't give up at the first roadblock, and don't avoid necessary confrontation. And then, like I mentioned, there's just some different horoscopes and such in there. Well, we're 14 days from the new moon. That's about it.
Cool. Yeah, the moon was pretty cool looking the last couple of days. I got a couple of shots of it that didn't turn out that.
I finally put together my little collage, but I did it like so fast. It didn't turn out quite like I wanted it to. But I posted it. It's got some pictures. I started taking them from the first waxing crescent on July 1st all the way until last night. So I posted that on my page. And it's not like the same exact spot every time type thing. It's just like a whole bunch of just different pictures at different stages.
Yeah, it's funny. I just pulled these cards out. You know, those crazy cards with all the weird facts on them. I wish I didn't know. And I was just talking about the other night. I was watching a disc golf tournament that was in Thailand. You know, and it's like this cool, you know, green grassy course with coconut palms, you know, all over the place, and dogs running around and termite mounds and just, you know, real cool looking stuff. And they were like, you know, why aren't you here? Come to Thailand, you know. And then they said that they showed these little cabins that are right on the disc golf course. They're $300 for the month. I'm like, man, you go to Thailand and get lost there for a couple of months. And it's funny.
Yeah.
The first card I pull out is it says, if you ever visit Thailand, try a local snack called Jing Lead, which is A, monkey brains, B, fried grasshoppers, C, spider dumplings, or D, fish gut smoothie.
Okay, wait, what's the word again?
A is monkey brains. Oh, what's the word? Jing Lead. Wait a minute. Jing Lead. JINGLEED.
Okay.
What is it? A, fried monkey brain, or just monkey brains, not fried. B, fried grasshoppers. C, spider dumplings. or D, fish gut smoothie?
I'm gonna say spider dumplings.
Oh, that's gnarly.
But my first instinct was the brain, but I didn't want it to be.
Yeah, Debbie says a brains. Brains. Monkey brains.
It is what it is?
No, I'm
Okay,
not
good.
saying that. Seeing if there's some other guesses. Of the four, Lori says D, fish gut smoothie. Ugh. That just makes me want to hurl. Of the four, monkey brains, fried grasshoppers, spider dumplings, or fish gut smoothie, which would you eat? Which would be your number one pick?
The grasshoppers,
Yeah.
if I had to. And that's a delicacy they eat a whole lot of.
Well, that would be the answer. B. It's Jing Lead is fried grasshoppers. I'd have to be hungry, but I don't know. Depends on what kind of grasshoppers they are. If they're the little green ones or the little tiny brown ones, that would be okay. If they're those big gnarly ones like we get here, the spitting grasshoppers with multicolors and they're huge. No thanks.
Spiny legs.
No thanks.
I've had people say like they're a little bit salty, but it's an interesting texture. It's like peppery and crunchy and salty.
I ate a piece of candy that had like a grasshopper or a mealworm or something in it.
Mm-hmm.
One time.
My dad had a tequila. He's actually it's still up there somewhere. Tequila suckers that have the worm in it.
Yep. Well, here's another interesting fact. Every day, all people in the world produce 94. What? Every day, all the people in the world produce 94.1 million gallons of A, snot, B, poop, C, pee, or D, farts.
You said gallons?
94.1 million gallons of.
Would they weigh gas by gallon or by?
I don't know.
Oh my God, I'm going to have to say crap.
It's not.
Unless you're in South Korea and you have to try to go search for it to turn it into your liter so you don't get shot. Because they need it for fertilizer. So people go out to the streets and will have to try to find it in the gutters, so they turn in their quota of crap.
Wow, really?
For real. If you read about the things that Korea really has to do and how close behind we are, they're allowed like one piece of paper in the house. And so they'll write everything they have to write front and back until this whole piece of paper is gone. Then they turn that into toilet paper. They only have one station they can watch, and that's about chem and the administration. They can't communicate, and that's why when they want to send a warning, they send the balloons out. They risk their lives for that. They only have one jacket, this and that. They try to put them out to wash, and people come and steal them. But the thing that got me was the fertilizer. Her name is Yasmin, and she's a refugee from there. And so she talks on YouTube and tells a lot about, like what Kim's thinking, doing, and like if we don't watch this or that, like showing us where things are leading, stuff doesn't change. But I'm thinking, oh my God, to have to go collect crap. And if you don't, you get shot.
Nice. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of people bitch about the United States. I'm kind of glad I live here.
No, for real. And, when people are wanting to like give up their, abandon the flag and everything, it's like, Yeah, even I'm pissed off about a whole lot of stuff, but right now there's nowhere like it here.
No.
You don't want to be other places, especially if you don't pay attention to what actually happens other places.
Well, according to this card, every day all the people in the world produce 94.1 million gallons of farts. D. I don't know how you weigh farts in a gallon.
And what if some people aren't have good digestion, or they don't? I mean, it's hard to. And how do they take that average?
I don't know. Your feet sweat approximately this much fluid per year. Like the girl that sells boob sweat. How much feet sweat do your feet produce in a year? A, 10 gallons. B, 23 gallons. C, 18 gallons. Or D, 1.5 gallons.
1.5. I was gonna say 10, but 1.5.
I don't know. Lori says A, 10 gallons. Heather says D, 1.5 gallons. Zaria,
What?
I can't eat peanut butter because of the card game. Rob, thank you.
Yeah, why can't you eat peanut butter? Because of what we're talking about, or was there like a crazy peanut fact I missed?
There could be a peanut one. I was talking about that earlier today. Your feet sweat approximately B, 23 gallons in a
Oh,
year.
shy.
Is that for real? That's some sweaty ass feet we all got. Really?
How come my feet never feel sweaty though, unless I'm wearing socks and shoes? And um, even so, there's really not that much. I'm usually barefoot. I don't see wet marks everywhere.
Yeah, I would have said 1.5 gallons. That seems reasonable.
Yeah.
23 gallons? Seriously? That's a shitload of foot sweat.
Who are they using as
Really?
the most extreme cases ever? We need to be in the control.
Oh, here's a good one. To get an amount of bacteria equal to what's found on your phone, you'd need A, 10 toilet seats, B, 16 used tissues, C, $23 bills, or D, 6.1 gallons of pee.
Okay, you have to start that over again because I was replying.
To get an amount of bacteria equal to what is found on your cell phone, you need A, 10 toilet seats, B, 16 used tissues, C, $23 bills, or D, 6.1 gallons of pee.
The dollar bills, y'all.
Dollar bills, y'all.
I'd say the toilet seats, but then money's supposed to be even dirtier.
Yeah. Who's sweating that bad exactly? What do they measure people's foot sweat when they get pulled over by the cops or when they get arrested? Because their feet are probably sweating pretty bad about then. But if you're just chilling in a hammock, drinking a cool drink or a beer, your feet probably aren't sweating that bad.
And it's I've had friends that have gotten Botox under their armpits because they profusely sweat, and other spots sometimes people have a really bad sweating problem, but there's more not problem than problem that I've noticed.
Yeah. 23 gallons of foot sweat's a lot of sweaty feet. Lori says B.
Wringing out the
Yeah, wringing out sweaty socks. There's a job.
It brings me back to working with kids. Ugh.
Briar says toilet seats. 16. No. 10 toilet seats to be exact. Marty says C. $20 bills, yo. Zariana says gross. Yeah, the one answer that I saw that's right is 10 toilet seats is the equivalent of the bacteria that's on your cell phone. Who wants to go wash off their phone right now?
I just wiped my phone off yesterday. And I wash my hands a lot. I don't understand. Like, even your toilet seat, like, figure if you're a pretty clean person, and then, like, your toilet seat, and you're not splashing all over doing it, your legs are clean, you're sitting your legs down, and washing hands. Like, I don't understand how so much bacteria flies around.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I'm, like, neurotic about hand washing.
yeah. I always relate that one, somebody farts and they're laughing. I'm like, yeah, think about it. You're breathing the air that just came out of my butthole. When you think of it like that, it's like, wow, but it's kind of nasty.
Like when people are all sitting in a car together and the guys all start farting and like cracking up, like you're all breathing each other's ass air.
Yeah.
And then like when people use them, what do they say? Like those blowers to blow dry your hands.
Yeah.
Even like flushing the toilet with the lid up is supposed to like shoot all sorts of like airborne stuff like into the air.
I always close the lid.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a habit. Because I read they're like they did it like with a microscope or something. They're like, oh, look what happens when you flush your toilet with the seat up. And I saw it and I was like, okay, I'm shutting that bitch from now on. And it just
I just did it by habit, but then I learned that and I was like, oh God.
Here's an interesting one. The world's oldest prostitute on record is A, 56, B, 68, C, 85, or D, 98. Oldest prostitute on record. Still working.
Still working okay. So I would say probably the two of the one of the last two. I'm gonna go with 98.
Man, that's like way past the gilf.
I mean, hey.
A, 56, B, 68, C, 85, D, 98.
All right, I'll go with 85.
Heather says C. Brer says D. Yep, lid down for sure. Lori says B, 68. Debbie says C, 85. Is that 85? Is it 88? 85. D for Wolfie with 98. D for Margie. The correct answer would be C, 85 years old.
I wonder how old her clientele are.
Yeah, really. I don't know. Probably got,
I
probably
wonder
got
what her special.
her specialty is. I don't
Yeah.
know. Depends if she has teeth or not.
Oh,
That could
yeah.
be a specialty.
Like a meat puppet. Take it out. Were they called a meat sock or meat puppet?
A gum job.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. 85. Still knocking them out. She's like, I ain't quitting.
She knows what's up.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I've been to places, like here you think prostitution, oh, you get arrested for that. I've been like Costa Rica, for example. It's legal there. It's weird.
Like when my dad went to Amsterdam and went through, they took pictures going down red light district.
Yeah. Yeah, they kind of have, it's sort of the red light
In the
district.
Philippines, oh my gosh, like the
Yeah.
Philippines is huge for it. My sister went to massage parlors.
Yeah, Thailand, you got to be,
Thailand.
I got to be careful in Thailand. Because some of those,
Yeah, it's not what you're
yeah,
ordering.
yep. Wait.
It's even more popular now.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, that'll wrap it up for Weird Wednesday. Got a little weird, talking about oldest prostitutes on record and stuff. You never know what you're going to get. It's like a box of chocolates.
You don't know what our brains are gonna.
Yeah.
What kind of mood we're in.
I still have Coke brain, so I never know where my brain's going.
Say that one more time because it sounded like you said Coke brain.
I got Coke brain. I still have COVID brain. Not Coke brain.
We're both kind of out of it today, but we wanted to see each other and see everybody because we love you guys so, so much. Just we're kind of out of it today, but we love you all.
We'll be back again for next Weird Wednesday. Who knows what'll happen between now and then. So y'all take care. Have a great rest of the week. And don't have Coke brain. All right. Good night.